Hello boys and girls, welcome to the NA Group Fighting Finals, the league finals themselves, and here are the fine fellows fighting it out. We have, as the Brits, the 3 Volt, and our friends from previous times, it is the NR8. You can see Russian Fury taken down already, you can see Grenadier Cairo also being finished off, as is multiple members. Look at that right flank then starting to break as the left flank is starting to fold slightly. The NR8 is being pushed back by the 3 Volt. You can see them continuing to fight, and now they're collapsing in on each other with the British forces pushing the advantage as best they can. The 3 Volt cutting down the NR8 very quickly indeed. That was very brutal. Now, boys and girls, things to bear in mind. This is the first to 25. So none of this 25 rounds, it is the first to 25. So it's possible we could go to 24 to 25, in which case I will probably die on cast. But, you know, what the hell, it'll probably help the views. Anyway, let's just see. As we're now looking at this right-hand flank, as the NR8 are pushing back. Down goes one member, and there's a team kill into Perdue coming in from the Veen. And the NR8 now pushing the advantage back. You can see the central part of the NR8 a little weak, and the far right hand side being pushed pretty hard by the members of the 3E. And look at this, they're breaking off into the 2v1s as they continue, and there's a team kill in there. It's Lieutenant Colonel onto Sleek from the Vault. And now you can see here Yoshi. Oh, Yoshi, team kill by Prophet. Sorry, forcing the team kill, I should say. Vortex being killed by Prophet. And another kill into the Vault. And the last man standing is fighting for his life, backs against the wall. Oh, it's not looking good. As Captain Wasty, Hauptmann Wasty, I should say, is finished off. Now, one thing you can see here is how the teams spread themselves out. Look at this. You can see, obviously, the NR8 spreading themselves pretty wide. You're going to have Russian Fury on the right-hand side, no doubt. Trying to get round the side. Look at this. Trying to get round the side. The NR8 doing that tactic again. Trying to do that in circle against the 3 Volt, but the 3 Volt holding fast. Look at this. There's Nick Cole. There's Cairo. There's Chaplain Matt. And here for Skin Salty. What a name. As now you can see Zocario trying to fight for his life, and down he goes. Multiply diddled. And there's Zappy in there as well, who's currently residing in Europe somewhere, so all shout out to Zappy for the late night that he's currently enjoying. So there's Swirp from the NR8 fighting against Golden from the 3E. Look at this, it's all equal. No, actually it's 4 to 3 in favour of Volt. The 3E have the advantage in numbers, and all they're looking for is that 2v1 on the far left-hand side. Can they push that advantage? Teammate comes into assist. Tries to break it off, and look at that. The 3E Volt gets taken down. Now it's 2v1. Down goes Crumbum. What a fine name. And now the holding action being done by Zappy. Fantastic holding actions. Down goes Golden. Oh, and a final team kill on Golden by Liquid. Liquid was then murdered horribly. So, wow, very close indeed. And great fighting. Zappy holding on to the boys on the right-hand side while the rest were finished off. So, let's go and have a look. Zappy with 132 ping. Oh, good God, that's obscene. Especially when most of these guys will be NA or NA-based and will have suitable pings. Maybe not Golden, but Cairo down already. Far right-hand side, and look at this. Look at the whole line rotating like a spoke on a Catherine wheel, and then they dive in, forget that all-important stab. Oh dear, that's 2 team kills into 3 Volt. Vortex and Bonjay taken down. As you can see, oh, Gottfried as well. Oh, these team kills are really going to hurt the 3 Volt. The NR8's going to try and push that advantage as best they can. And there we can see poor old Crumbum being taken down. Now the members of the 3 Volt pushing over, and they have the numerical advantage against the 2 remaining. Down goes Nick Cole, and Swirp is fighting for his life until he gets stabbed in the bum. And a little bit of butt action at the end there. Poor Swerp is no more. So, 3-1 to the 3E. This is going to be a serious battle. And it's 25 people per side as well. Well, I think it was 25. No, it's actually 21. So it's pretty close to that. I mean, it's only 4 difference. Yeah. Besides, this is the internet. Who can bloody count on the internet? Pretty much nobody is what I'm thinking. As down goes Monty, Bonji, and Aston as well. And look at them pushing this left side pretty hard. Trying to do that all-important enclosure maneuver that the NR8 definitely did against their opponents as we saw them. As now you can see Chaplain Matt over here on the right side going after Godfrey, defending himself and murdered. Oh, that's just brutal. Over here, these guys with their backs to the wall. That's going to be a nasty situation as Herder or Produrder goes down. Here's Golden going after one of the enemy. There we go. Gets that all-important kill onto Sleepy. Down goes Oatmeal. And Skins Salty. And Prophet as well. And here are the last 2 remaining members of the NR8. And they got a team kill on their commanding officer at the same time. Well, I should say their second in command, Lieutenant Colonel Vertex. So, 4-1 to the 3. Now, question is, what is the NR8 going to have to do to try and bring back a few rounds? Now, it's all to play for. And that's interesting because each regiment has a pause. I suppose under the circumstances, because we are in NA, we call it a timeout. And for those of you who are not aware, I'm used to that kind of thing because I do not like American, I do not like British soccer or whatever they call it. I'm an American football man. 49ers for the win. Although technically speaking, they haven't done that well since the 80s. But needless to say, Fusilier Vector taken down. Asian also killed the 3-volt Asian P there. As Godfrey defending himself from 2 men. That fine dodge in between. But sadly, it was not enough for him to counteract it. And look at these numbers being pared down slowly and quickly. And I think it's fair to say the Volt maybe... No, it's looking very, very equal right now. As the NR8 and the Volt are fighting against each other. Down goes Oatmeal, down goes Crocodile. And look at that. Vortex again, team killed. Oh, poor Vortex. Oh, this is going to be a bad day for this boy. Yep, it was. Swerp is no more. Bleeding like a stuck pig. So, the 3E currently showing impressive form. The NR8, a little overwhelmed at some places, but we know these boys can fight. We've seen them before, and we know they're capable of it. Maybe it's a combination of tic-tacs, those all-important tactics. As there on the left side, down goes the flank of the 3E, and now you see a team kill coming in into Purder. As now, look at that, the left side, and look at that, the entire line has literally just rotated round like that. And now you can see them fighting the left-hand flank. Looks to have a lot of 3E on that side. I would say in the centre, it's currently the 3E have advantage. The right flank, the NR8 have the numbers. Now it's going to be a matter of watching the teams essentially collapse inwards. The NR8's got to push that advantage. And can the other members of the 3E get back together with their teammates? And they can. Now they have the advantage of numbers. Can the 3E take advantage of this? Getting that all-important kill. And right now, look at them shepherding the NR8 over. Lurvy gets taken down very quickly. Down goes Crocodile. Down goes Nick Cole. And Vets is also finished off as well. Look at this. Fantastic stuff right now. As now we see Zappy and friends. So 6-1 to the 3E. The boys getting warmed up, getting ready to go. As now we can see Mackle from the 3E. You can see the right flank Let's look at the centre. How's the centre faring? And it looks like, I think it's fair to say, the NR8 trying to push pretty hard on the right side. Crumbum and Grimsight taken down on the right-hand side. That means the right flank is going to then start collapsing. But the question is, can the 3E push back in that direction? And they seem to have the numbers to kind of hold them, which is what they're doing right now. The NR8 continuing to move in on the left flank, taking down the numbers. You can see here this prime fellow here, Millie, fighting for his life. Oh, hello, sailor. Down goes Kampfgruppe, Corporal of the Faults. Oh my goodness, he's going in there for multiple diddlings, bayoneted in their face. And there we go, the NR8 with a very dominant display in that particular round. That's the kind of thing that I think the NR8 want to try and do for the next few rounds. Obviously try and write the numbers in difference between these two teams. But their tactics seem to be interesting. I mean, it's a combination of those spread out lines, and you can see here how much the NR8 is spreading out. And I think if we look at the general spread of people, you can see on the left side, maybe the left flank is a little bit weak. The right flank probably stronger, the centre pretty strong as well. But if you look here, they're trying to get in as Wasty gets taken down. Victor also taken down, as is Monty. And you can see that what they're trying to do is they're trying to get that all-important first stab in. That's going to be the advantage. And there's a team kill in for the 8E. Sorry, the 3E, I apologise. And multiple members of the 3E being finished off. This is going to be a nasty situation. And you can see that the NR8's left flank has now collapsed. And you can see them starting to reform their numbers to try and push back into the centre. The NR8 pushing back into the centre as best they can. You can see them continuing to fight as quickly, trying to kill those people as quickly as they can. And I think it's fair to say that the 3 have the advantage in numbers. And you can see them now fighting for survival as down goes another one. Down goes Russian Fury and Crumbum. Wow. Look at this. The NR8 fighting the remaining 2 members of the NR8 fighting. Zappy and Ito. Down goes Sleek. And look at this. Oh, Zappy and Sleek fight. Down goes Zappy. And it's going to be Sleek all on his own. No correction. It was Swirp. And sadly for Swirp, against 3 members of the 3E, that was a task that was too much. It was close. But the skill of these boys is absolutely phenomenal. So good. I mean, obviously, I couldn't melee a wet paper bag, but that's neither here nor there. So we'll follow the 3E in, and then meet up with Uff's Boob. A fine name. There's Wasty. There's Cairo. Dom Worst. Here for the skins. There's Yoshi. Fine moustache on that gentleman. There's Matt. Zappy, of course. Crocodile. There's Oatmeal. Wonder if he's in relation to the cartoonist. Ito. Ito again. Oh, correction. There goes Rothgar. And Nick Cole. Down he goes. As we look at Grenadier Skies. And your Jorge. Is that Jorge or George? God only knows. Difficult to say. So now we're here looking. I'm here for the skin salty. Going up against this 3E member. Down he goes. That was Jim Jeffries. And oh, hello, sailor. Oh dear, he's just taken one up the bottom, as most sailors tend to. But never mind. Now this could be an opportunity for the NR8 to finish off the 3E. That it is. Monty finished off. The last surviving member of the 3E goes down. Sleepy is finished off. And that's 7-3. So what we're going to do, go up high and watch the members of the 3E and see how they move into the battle. See what kind of strategy they decide to employ. Now look at that. The middle of the line a little bit weaker, starts to open up slightly. You can see numbers pretty strong on the left-hand side and in the centre and on the right-hand side. As there we go, a couple of kills on the left flank. That gives the 3E the advantage. They can start stem pushing in. But on their right flank, they've now lost people as well to the NR8. That means immediately you can see the numbers start to just push around slightly. The centre group moving towards the back. The right group moving down towards the centre, and the left flank remaining pretty solid. As there we go. Down goes Oatmeal and Grimsight and Sleek. And the remaining members of the 3E. The hell was that? I swear I just saw flashing in my flat, but anyway, never mind. Could be the windows open, so anything's possible. So, holy shit, that is actually a thunderstorm. Okay, well, that's a little worrying. Let's hope my my machines don't go bang. I do have them on surge protection, but that would be a little unfortunate. So there we go. We're away. Let's look at that. So you can see the NR rate, the bigger line of the two. And you can see now they're still probing the defenses. Look at that. They're holding back on both sides. Trying to get that important first stab in as Kampfgruppe from the 3E gets taken down. Now let's see. There we go. Members of the NR rate taken down on the right flank now as a result of that. The right flank as we see it now is going to get pushed by the 3 volt, but the numbers being reformed. And it looks like the centre is maybe a little bit weak for the NR rate. Now the left flank is weak for the NR rate, but they're pushing back against the 3 volts. And now you can see here the numbers starting to correct themselves, pushing in towards the centre. And now trying to essentially encircle the remaining members of the NR8 as the 3E doing a fantastic job here of clearing up the remainders as down goes Sleek and Jim Jeffries and Swerp. Also brutally murdered. And here is Oatmeal. Watching out for a stab to the bottom. Oatmeal getting stabbed multiply and down poor old Oatmeal goes. 8-4. Now this is the championship, boys and girls. This is the finals. Whoever wins this wins the league. And obviously the right to parade their e-penises on the internet. But I don't know. Maybe that's what Snapchat's for. God knows. Anyway. Let's see. The left flank here, the NR8. You can see them pushing around on the left side. It's Russian Fury. Now, we know, not to make it sound rude, but he's quite the flanker. And he gets very aggressive. We've seen him fighting before in this particular way as down goes Russian Fury. Now, it could be that they're focusing attention and trying to keep the defences on the left flank as tight and as rough as possible for Russian Fury, because he was quite the danger against the opposing teams in the semis. And you can see here, Yoshi gets finished off as well. And the remaining members of the 3E, you can see them pushing in, clearing up these fellows. Who's fighting for his life? Look at this. It's Yorsh. Recruit Yorsh as well from the NR8. He's going to get stabbed. Oh, he gets the kill. And look at this, 3 versus 1, but sadly, George there doing a fantastic job. Absolutely stunning defensive play there. And now you can see the remaining members of the NR8 finished off Zappy and Oatmeal. And it's 9-4. So, I think it's fair to say that 3 volt has the advantage right now. The NR8 on the back foot, but we've seen how quickly the NR8 can get a few rounds on the board. So we'll have to wait and see. Now we move down. And we're watching here on the left flank. Look at this. The 3 volt pushing very, very hard. And George and Chaplain Matt and Navino all moving backwards as they're being contained by the 3E. But George is moving in on the outside. He's going up against the Sailor. Kampfgruppe and Superb Pedro. Possibly Austrian, don't know, based on that title. And now you can see that one sneaking around the back as well. As down goes, looks like that was GRTM site. Or Grim site, sorry. Golden finished off. And it could be a turn up here against the Volts. The three under pressure now. As the NR8 are finishing off the remaining members. Who's this fighting for his life? It's Superb Pedro with some superb attacks into the enemy. Look at him going in for that stab on the head. Gets the stab on the last members of the 3E. And Kampfgruppe taken down. No more sailoring for him. Or at least until the next round. 9-5 in favour of the 3E Volts. We move over to the NR8. There's Navino. There's George. Perdurder. Nick Cole. Now, the question is, where is Russian Fury? There he is. And look at this. You see, this is what they're doing against Russian Fury. He was such a danger in the last match that I casted. They are literally putting a large oh, wow. They are literally putting a large number of troops over on the left-hand flank to try and counter out Russian Fury. Stop him getting round behind the back of the 3E Volt. And now look at this. The probing of the defences continue. And this is bad for the NR8. They're on the back foot and slowly closing the door is a 3E. You can see them going in there to try and shut down those numbers as best they can. And Perdurder goes down. Also sleepy as well. We're watching Sergeant Risk with a fine stab into Boob. He's obviously a boob man, but never mind. Oh, he gets taken out by fine stabbing from Skies from the NR8. Look at this, a turn up for the books, maybe for the NR8, as it looks like now. The 3 Volts numbers are paired away. As we've also got their Skies fighting. Down goes the last man there. And another one coming in. Who's this fighting for his life? It's Sleek. Oh, look at this. Oh, Sleek literally blocking the attack from 2 men, and now it's a 3v2. Now the 3 Volt have an advantage. Oh, that was so close. The NR8 so close to taking that. So close indeed. Sadly for them, the 3 Volt pulled it back. So, let's watch again. See if we can follow in the Russian Fury. Here he is. Major of the NR8. And look at that. Literally 2 to 3 people on the 3 Volt. Now 5 in total, forming a wall against the 3 here. And this is good containment of probably the strongest player on the NR8. And look at that. They're going in for that all-important kill onto the Russian Fury. And this is where his defences then start to fall down. And that's exactly what's happened. So fine tactics here by the 3E. They're shutting down the most dangerous player on the NR8, controlling him, making him fight their battle. And that's really what's turning the ball for them. But obviously great fighting from all the other members of the 3 Volt and the NR8. It's definitely close on most rounds here. And this is what we want to see in the final. Sheer, unadulterated talents when it comes to melee. Just beautiful things to see. There's Ito. And now these guys are going to try and avoid being encircled. You can see them still moving backwards. Currently trying to avoid that stab as Crocodile, sadly for him, did not get taken down by Mackle. And you can see now Pedro also being finished off. Swerve. And for Skin Salty also. As the final man, Bastilia from the NR8 is finished off. Wowzers is all I can say. 11-5 for the 3E. So right now, the 3E in a commanding position. However, never discounting the NR8. These boys have a way of pulling it back. And look at this immediately. Look at this. See how the strategy's changed with the Russian Fury moving over to the left-hand side. Now that you saw that the right-hand side was being defended. And it now means that immediately their enemy has got to try and counteract it. And look at the difference this has made by moving the Russian Fury over to the left-hand flank. Immediately means that the left-hand flank of the 3E starts to collapse. And now, as a result of that, the 3 Volt have had to move their numbers over to the left-hand flank to then force back the likes of the NR8's push from Russian Fury and friends. And now you can see a difficult situation here as we're watching Okaria or Orkareo. Oh God, Orky, please get a good name I can pronounce, like Bob or Fred or George or Chuck. Oh, fine, turn and stab into poor old Orc, and down goes Boob as well. He's been deflated. And fighting over here is Rothgar and Superb Pedro. And in comes the sailor. Oh, look out for Kampfgruppe, the deadliest sailor in Napoleonic Wars. Ahoy, sailor. And there we go, another round in favour of the 3 Volts. Now, let's see. There's Kampfgruppe. There's Crumbum. What a fine name, sir. Now, what are they doing? There he is. Look at that. Immediately, as soon as they see Russian Fury, 2 members of the 3 Volt push over to the right-hand flank, opening up the middle. Now, the question is whether or not the NR8 can then start pushing that middle as best they can to try and push that advantage. And now you can see the members of the NR8 being pushed, or pushing, I should say, with Pedro. Try not to get team killed. Also good. As now you can see down goes Matt and George. And Navino fighting for his life, stabbed in the side. As here is Cairo also fighting for his life, about to get double diddled, which is exactly what happens. As here is Orc fighting for his life. Look at this, fantastic stuff. Down goes Pedro, and a nice stab going into the Kampfgruppe. And look at that, a fine return. And a round in favour of the NR8, 12 to 8. Sorry, 12 to 6, my apologies. So, 18 rounds played. Well, precisely. Now, let's see. There's Pedro. We need to watch the right flank. As we've watched the left flank enough, we now need to see what's going on the right flank. Down goes Russian Fury over on the left. We're watching Dom 13, worst NW. Oh, and he gets a fine kill into one of the enemies, one of the 3. Then gets stabbed in the bottom. Wasty now fighting back as best he can. They've got to get those guys against the wall if they can, giving them not much space to move. There we go, a nice dive inside the forces of the 3 Volt. Oh, goodness me, look at this. Look at the way that the teams rotate around each other to try and get that all-important encircling advantage. Now the 3 Volt close the trap on the members of the NR8. Member of the 3 Volt behind. That was risk. He gets taken down very quickly indeed. And now we're looking at another kill into Boob and to Nick Cole as well. Multiple members of the NR8 are falling left, right and centre. There's a team kill into Grimsight as well. Crocodile falling down. It's looking bad for the NR8. Bastia out. Now it's all versus poor old Wasty. They can even afford a bit of a team kill in there as well. So very, very, very nasty situation there for the NR8. And the Volt turning the situation against them very quickly. So, let's check. There's Dom, Wasty, Skies. Who's this at the back? Down goes Russian Fury with Grimsight taking them down. Oh, look at this. This is what we're talking about with the left and right flanks, about how they can break so easily. And then you get someone like this fella here, Kampfgruppe, behind the enemy. And that's a dangerous situation for the NR8. Now you can see them continuing to fight as we're watching Kampfgruppe. Now got the support of his teammates, and they're being literally closed in on from all directions. Look at this, being encircled by the members of the 3 Volt. Down goes Crumbum. And here is Golden. Here's Boob defending himself. Doesn't want to get felt up at the wrong moment. Oh, look at that fine block. He's got to watch out from behind. Goes for a turn and a stab. Gets hit by an opportune bayonet from his enemy. Now what's going to happen there? Look at this. Could this be the moment? Sleek is finished. Here is superb Pedro. Sadly unable to live up to his name. But a fantastic fight nevertheless. So 13-7. The 3E have the lead by at least 6 rounds. So Mackle and Crumbum up against Russian Fury. Look at him, he's trying to sneak in, he's trying to get in there. Oh, there gets that all-important first kill. Now you can see, look at this left side of the NR8 starts breaking. And this is where the potential encirclement can begin. But if you notice, the numbers on the right-hand side of the 3 volt significantly higher. But now they're in danger, maybe. We'll have to wait and see what happens as Crocodile and Monty both get finished off. But it looks like the sheer skill level of the 3 volt can fight their way out of the situation. There's a nice kill into Chaplain Matt there of the NR8. Now it looks like Sleek and friends are trying to fight their way back. But it looks like the NR8 has the advantage in numbers. It's going to look like a bad situation for Risk and Sleet. And also over here, Asian P, the Colonel, the leader, and the corpse. Sorry. Oh, Asian. Never mind. 13-8 in favour of the 3 volt. So, superb Pedro warming up. And let's watch the centre this time. See how these guys work. You can see the numbers slightly in the advantage of the NR8 right now in the centre. The right and the left flank seem pretty solid. We've got to wait for that first important kill. Crumbum falling. And Victor and Wasty and Grimsight and Mackle. Russian Fury down on the right side. Now the question is, where is the rotation going to be? There we go. It looks like the left-hand flank of the NR8 seems pretty strong. They seem to be pushing back, trying to get into the centre of where the 3E are contained. And it looks like there's an advantage going on here for the NR8. It's up against the 3E Volt. And you can see Cad sleepy and going in for multiple stabberings. Some stabby goodness. Oh, God. Wow. That was brutal. Lovely, lovely, brutal play there by the members of the NR8. It looks like Skies is trying to escape already. This lovely arena map, isn't it glorious? A fine location. A superb Pedro here. Moved over from the right flank to the left flank. And waiting, look at that. As there we go, a team kill into Perdurda from Navino. That's going to be very bad for them. As it looks like Navino has just left the server. It looks like they're going to be down a number. Let's have a look at that. 18 versus 15. So yeah, the Prussians are going to be down a few. Poor old Vortex dead again via team killing. He has the worst luck when it comes to avoiding his teammates' bayonets. Yeah, but you know, what can you say? Some people just like a large prick in the forehead, but never mind. Let's see, Kampfgruppe from the 3 volt, looking to get that important stab onto Swerp. Swerp's teammate dies in front of him. Down goes Liquid and Sleep, and he goes in for that all-important turn and the stab, and a lovely turn and stab by Swerp. But he's about to get diddled. Down from the stabby goodness he goes. As we see the remaining person, it's here for the skin Salty. How salty is he going to be is the question. He dives in between the two, but stabbed from the side by Kampfgruppe. Such opportunistic stabbing, that's the thing you got to watch out for. That side stab that you can't block because you're in the fight with another enemy. There's Millie. And there, of course, Crumbum, look at that. A face that looks like he's been slapped in the face with a shovel. Or possibly, you know, an articulated truck. Perdurda. And the Russian Fury, look at this, pushing back. The Russian Fury going in for the murdering. But down he goes. Very aggressive play from the Russian Fury. And as a result of that, the left flank is now slightly weak. You can see here Asian P moving in to stab and clear up the remaining members of the NR8. Now the NR8 rotating round from the left side to the right side, trying to stop being encountered with a massive encircling movement by the members of the 3 Volt. And here is Yoshi fighting. Oh, sorry, Yoshi. I was about to say fighting for his life, and then he got murdered. So, commentators curse. The camera curse again. As now, look at this. It looks like the NR8 are now in pretty serious trouble as they're being diddled from multiple directions. As Skies and Swerp are finished off. Wow. And there you have a half-time, ladies and gentlemen. No team killing. It will affect the score.